Fuck.
Oh.
For fun? 2, 1.
Fuck. Fuck.
Oh.
Take him out.
Oh.
Okay, yes, we're live. We are great. We're good to go. All right.
Dana Plato's rotting pussy.
Wow. And there you have it.
Right.
I mean, the man's not wrong.
Hard to argue with that.
Shit, it's worm infested at this point.
Fish is loud.
Fuck that noise. We're not quitting.
You're listening to the F That Noise podcast, featuring Pete Melia,
But we're talking about shit here.
Jamie Klein,
No one wants to smell your dirty fucking shit.
Mike Burdick,
Feel like I'm in group.
Steve Taylor,
Is he getting his balls slapped by some other dude?
and Keith Grieve.
You get a fucking sausage.
That's right, you do.
So, 78.
9 and 8.
Actually,
Straight. On this thing long enough.
80s.
Bunch of episodes. Yes. Who's got fucking audio leaking into their microphone? God damn it all. Wouldn't be
BMF.
that noise.
I'm gonna say it was me. I'm sure it was me
Well, yeah. Which reminds me.
because I put.
Yes, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It was good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Sundrum.
Yes.
You want to do it again just for fun?
No. Fine. We'll make it work. We will make it work. So, welcome to the program, folks. When we're going to live stream, but usually we try to do Tuesday nights. Lately, we've been doing Wednesday night. Not tune in live. You can find us any podcast platform you choose to find your podcasts. Google, Spotify are the big ones, obviously, and there's like a shit ton. We are on more platforms than I ever thought we would find ourselves, and
That's awesome.
here's a free plug for Spreaker because it makes it so fucking easy to do. If you're a podcaster yourself and you're not on Spreaker, you got to ask yourself why, because it makes distribution so easy. And
it's only free because they won't pay us.
is somebody? Because I know a lot of us, myself included, are in our basement. Is somebody's dryer running?
That's what I said before. I said it sounds like someone's dryer.
Oh shit. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, my furnace is going and yeah, the dryer's going too. Right?
Nice.
There you go. The whole fucking basement is all attacking all at once.
This is real life, folks. Real life. The unvarnished real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of varnished.
In actuality, Pete would have to deal with that every day.
Dealing with it right now, as a matter of fact.
We start every episode with the drive of the week. If you don't know what a drive is a line from a movie or a TV show said with exceptional velocity and volume. And this segment belongs to Jamie Klein.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, and Beth. What we have here is the first drive of the week right now, and it is we're starting with hardcore, right?
Yes.
Porn?
Oh, speaking of Beth, thank you. Yeah, we're going to do a hardcore with George C. Scott. This is a classic 70s film. This is where George C. Scott finds out his daughter, and he's trying to infiltrate and bring her back because he's a big Mormon and all that stuff. So
It's
it is a
family
great-
picture.
Yeah, it's a great film. Written and directed by Paul Schrader, did Taxi Driver. I mean, it's as dark as they come, and it's a really must see. I think if this was the 80s, Harvey Keitel would have probably taken this role, but it's 70s, so you got nice George C. Scott, and he's always good for play that shite.
Does George C. Scott pull his crooked dick out in this?
I don't know.
There was a Keitel reference for those of you that aren't familiar with Bad Lieutenant, but here's the clip. George C. Scott from Hardcore.
Hmm.
It's a great drive.
What's going on?
Yeah, why is it?
This is
Ooh.
Dead air.
Turn it off. There it comes. Off. Turn it off.
Such a good agonized face.
Oh god, it's a killer.
it's a at the end.
That is amazing.
Oh, that's great.
A very underrated, fevered individual.
George C. Scott would have fit in really good with F that noise.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he would.
He drags that out at the end so great.
Scott want us to turn it off.
He's freaking. It's like he's from the Dark Crystal. It's
No, that was me. Because I was a child going, "What the fuck is this?" The movie was.
I hear you.
Oh, that was the
But you
drive of the
still
week.
go.
That was the drive of the week. Brought to you by Trashman Media. For all the latest DVD and Blu-ray comments, reviews, head over to trashmanmedia.com and also on Facebook. And
Don't forget to check out www.chino.
okay,
Chino.
we're keeping it simple today.
We don't even.
Yeah.
We don't even need .com. You just put in. Chino.
Chino that 14th bullet.
You just you couldn't go from without laughing. So you just drove Chino.
Chino.
So yeah. So how was everybody's week?
Yeah.
No, it's fucking weak.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an enthusiastic response. Right?
Yeah. Let's get started at once. I'll tell you what.
But you know how it is when you're parents and you're heading towards Christmas. It just everything sucks.
Yeah.
You spent all your money.
I'm not a parent, and it still sucks. So
There you go.
In contrast, I would love to start with what Jamie told us yesterday. If he wanted to talk about it, what his workday was like, but I didn't know if that's something that he wanted to share on the air. But
I forgot what I said.
like what you were going to drive to do in the afternoon.
Oh, about the guy who pulled a nice gun.
Well, way to bury the lead, but yeah.
It's something I do for a living. I transport cars, and yeah, some guy talked to Old Blue, and I got to get this car from his widow. So yeah.
Essentially what happened was that he wanted to off himself, but he wanted to stand in line at the rent-a-car place first.
Or is that why, do you suppose?
Maybe.
Oh, I have no idea why.
That might have been the last straw right there.
Might have been like, fuck it, I'm just done. I can't get any better after standing in this line.
Was
They
this
wanted me to take the insurance. I didn't want to do it.
I don't know any line he was standing in, but yeah, it's just one of the company vehicle that he was driving. Thankfully, he didn't do it in the car. That's what I thought at first, but no, he didn't.
Was this
Be like Pulp Fiction, you in the back just scooping up brains?
God.
Mhm.
I don't even go. I never see any of these cars. I just drink.
So was this
I'm
a
just
rental
thinking.
car that he rented for this purpose, or was this
No, it has
his
nothing
car
to do
that
with
he?
rental. We don't do rental. We don't do rental cars.
Oh,
Oh, see, that's what I thought it was. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I misunderstood.
no. These are all company cars, so we're a leasing company. So,
But it's like a. You don't think about when you hear about stories of suicides that nobody cleans that shit up for you, like.
oh no, we have to take it. We have to take it to shops, and you have to do this ionization on the car. You got to go through this detail shops, and yeah. And now with COVID and everything, it's just such a fucking pain in the ass. It's really expensive too to clean these cars.
I imagine.
And
That
we
was
had
Yeah,
one-
crazy.
especially if it's got that kind of shit all over it.
We had one where the car was stolen, but we found it. But some homeless guy was living in there, and it just was atrocious. Like because they have to take photos of everything.
Yeah,
probably
you'll
smell
never.
like the-
Oh,
No way.
You probably smell
gotta
like
reupholster
the
and everything.
subway. Smell like the subway in the summertime.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
stinks.
or Jimmy John's.
Jimmy
But,
John's.
Just how many meth blowjobs did he give in the backseat of that car?
God. It's like,
Wait, did
no-
you say
no
get
one-
or
no-
give?
and the thing is, you
Both.
have to take the car
34.
and give it
I'm guessing.
to a new driver.
Yeah. That's a
Just
good number.
throwing
No
it
one's
out
gonna
there.
want. No one's gonna want this other car. So it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know. It's fucking gross.
It's so messed up.
And
Huh.
the suicide will not show up on the Carfax. I'm gonna
Right.
guess.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he didn't do it in the car, so it's just we just have to get it from.
Yeah, isn't
I
that
thought you
weird?
did
Like,
it in the car.
yeah.
Well,
cars
that was
come
the
with a
thing. Is
story.
like,
Like, there's a murder in this car. It's like, what?
that's the way
As
when
long
you
as
said
it's
it.
not Christine, I guess.
When you said it yesterday, that's what I thought. But you pulled the nice gun in the car.
That's why I thought.
No,
he did
but
too.
no,
And I was
but
like, oh,
no,
thank
but-
God he didn't.
I just had this vision of Pulp Fiction when he shoots the guy in the face and there's
Mhm.
blood and shit everywhere.
Never seen that movie. Is it good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it once or twice. But
I'm just laughing.
Wasn't
at
as good as Forrest
Every-
Gump. So hey.
everyone's name, and then there's Keith Reeves.
yeah, I just don't to change it. It doesn't show up on the live stream, so it's like, yeah.
That's what the fun is.
So if you guys
Live
were
wire?
pulling, you guys were gonna pull a live gun, live gun. You said
Live
live
gun.
wire. I said live gun.
Livewire.
If you're gonna pull a nice gun, where would you guys do it at?
Oh Jesus Christ, that's a
Oh, God.
morbid thought.
Oh, this is great. I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
All right.
There's so many good choices.
Right, right.
I probably wouldn't do it at my house just because the kids and stuff.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right away,
Huh.
right away, work comes to mind.
Because if anybody's gonna clean it up, they can. do it.
Yeah, like
Um,
I feel like they've taken a lot of my soul anyway. So I feel like it would be,
Right, right.
you know,
You've already drained the life out of me in one way.
right.
Oh,
So that's the first one that comes to mind. I don't know. Or is the better answer, would the suicide be a nice gun? Would you
Oh, that's true too.
or would you pick a different form of suicide if you were going to go that way? Not to make light out of suicide. I'm just saying, like, as an objective question, like, what would be your way of doing it if you were going to do it?
Oh, you know, it'd be hilarious.
I don't know.
hilarious how?
This is how you get totally fucking nude, go to Niagara Falls and jump in the falls, and as you're going down and everyone's looking at you, smile and give them a double.
That's fabulous. Yeah, that's the way to go.
I don't know if I can beat that. That's pretty great.
That's the suicide equivalent of writing the nuclear bomb and Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, I love that. Oh, so
That's
good.
such a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
But I say
Yeah,
that's how you go.
That's
I
king.
probably would not do anything messy.
Right.
Like I would probably like do the whole start the car and leave the garage door closed kind of trick.
You're not exactly going to have to clean it up, though.
No, but I wouldn't do that to other people. Like unless I was going to do it someplace like in a park or some shit like that.
Right.
Okay, you say.
See, I
that
always
now.
thought for like the first time in my life, I would do a mountain of cocaine and then jerk off until my heart explodes.
The thing is like there's a philosophy. I don't remember who
Not
said it.
bad.
Anticipation of death is worse than death itself. So I'm figuring like if we do the whole start the car and just kind of sit back and try to relax, I can just pretend I'm watching a movie and fall asleep.
Or you could actually watch a movie while you do.
Yeah, in the car.
Yeah, even better.
but then.
But how
but
what
then-
dreams may come. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, but then it's like then the problem is, what if it happens? What if you die while you're
Lost
at a
in
good part?
translation or something. I don't know. Like it's worth
Oh,
dying
God.
of having to watch that.
Oh God, that movie is torture.
Well, wait.
That is
Then the
torture.
question is, do you pick a bad movie while you're the carbon monoxide, or do you pick a good movie that you're not going to mind missing the ending of?
That's a good question because I feel like what you were watching while it happened is going to make it into a news article somewhere because it's
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
going to be reported.
He was watching Bad Lieutenant.
Like-
At the very least, talk about it. funeral.
After all Burdick's shit, he was watching a Clint Eastwood movie from 2010.
He committed suicide watching Cry Macho, and quite frankly, we.
There you go. Cry verdict.
Should have been watching Miami. That's what it was.
Goddamn right.
That's a good way to go.
The French Connection, the porn version.
This is Mike watching Cry Macho.
Turn it
Oh,
That's such a good
Jesus H.
off. Yeah.
God.
What else
No.
is going on? We did
People got,
suicide.
Yeah. What else? Let's move it along here. What else is going on?
you know,
this is
You
good
know,
stuff. Off feet and watch
watched all of Get Back in one sitting. He was just telling.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Did you? Oh, okay,
I still gotta watch that fucking thing.
Mike, did you see any of it yet?
Me, no.
Yeah.
I've been busy this week.
I got up to part 2. I'm almost done with part 2. I haven't got to part 3 yet. But holy
The
shit.
part where they play
It's really good, huh?
What'd you say?
They play the secret recorded
Finance
conversation
between Paul McCartney and John Lennon.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, like it's just,
Yeah. Where he quit.
it's like you could
totally see like
it's over. It's just a matter of time. Nobody here is on the same page.
And you can see like Paul McCartney is just kind of like I think he's like either clueless or he just doesn't want to believe. He wants.
I
to
bet it's the
pretend
latter
everything's okay.
from the conversations he's had since then. I bet it was like he was in denial.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But like, I'm wondering about this special that you got. I haven't seen it yet, but like, I watch a lot of like, things where like behind the scenes and stuff like that. Like, what is it that appeals to you guys most about this Get Back, about seeing the background of the demise of the Beatles? Like, what is the single thing that is like so appealing? And I believe me, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm just
dying
asking.
to say something right now. I see his mouth, like his face goes. I know what you're gonna say.
But that
And keep in mind, I'm not questioning it. I actually want to know.
they
demise of the Beatles. Weird thing.
is like I don't know, Pete. Correct me if I'm. They're together. I mean, they're playing. They're.
Yeah.
It's off Rocky, where
You feel like, oh my god, this is how they end.
but by the
Oh.
you almost don't happen.
And to watch that were actually used for Let It Be,
For
some of the other songs on
that
that
album that I'm blanking out with, but watching
that you're watching them rehearse, you're watching the songs get
fleshed out, the sequence,
Paul McCartney comes up with Get Back in like
like a matter of 2 minutes, just because
he's playing a bass guitar
like a 6-string guitar. It's just
mind blowing to watch.
it all happened together.
Hmm.
They're playing, and you
No,
know,
so this is how it ended. They just fizzled. They just
Right.
stuck together for so long. And I mean, they came over.
so
62, I think.
62.
In 8 years, they go to the
Right.
and then
right.
just
Fucking
fizzle
fizzle
out.
out.
So is it
No.
is it the genius that you're looking at genius that can't possibly like be destroyed and it's gonna be, or is it like what is the appeal? Like, and I think it's very appealing myself, but I'm curious, like what is the thing that's driving people to watch it? Is it nostalgia? Is it?
For me, it's like seeing the creative process of making Let It Be.
Hmm.
That I thought was awesome. I like at one point George Harrison goes, "Oh, I wrote a song last night. You guys want to hear it?" Like, yeah. And it's like one of the I don't remember. which
I
one
Mean
it was
Mine.
off the album.
Here Comes the Sun or something.
So it was like, oh my
No,
god,
that's
yeah,
I
that's
Mean
it.
Mine.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. It's just like little shit like that. I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
But then
Yeah, I mean,
and I love that album. It's like one of my favorites by them. So
you go back and
Did you go back and listen to the album after? Yeah.
I did. But if you listen to the lyrics of "I Me Mine," and it's like
directed at McCartney.
it's kind of like straight at.
Well,
Those are all I hear.
No, I didn't notice that.
Paul McCartney said that they both in that words they were weaponizing songs against each other. So like him and John were like purposely writing songs that to be angry with each other.
Yeah.
I
Well, that was the fascinating thing is, yeah, they didn't. Honestly, I mean, in terms of bands, blowing up in spectacular fireballs, like you think of, the Pink Floyd. This really, I mean, was pretty low drama, and honestly, even the creative process for guys by now who were, kind of divas at this point, like they were, monsters in the industry and everything. I didn't, as far as egos goes, you couldn't get a nicer bunch of guys. I mean, throughout, but it was nothing like I expected at all.
Was it possible that some of them knew it was coming and didn't want to rock the boat?
I feel like there was kind of they felt like it was sort of a spent kind of create, which is weird because usually when bands are at their peak, like more albums, like that's when it all seems to go south. But
at the same time, look at the output they had. I mean, they had
it was
so many
amazing.
songs.
And the video was incredible, like the scene that Keith mentioned, where Paul was just sitting there, just grooving, and people were just kind of hanging around talking, and out of nowhere, just due to the place that they rented and whatever was going on and the way he was feeling, just out comes this thing. Nobody even thought much of it at the time, He was just kind of like, I'm just playing around with something, and then out pops this iconic sort of riff, else really even picked up on it. People didn't jump in and start playing or anything. It was just kind of that really at their peak. And he get down and write another legendary song. It could have kept happening probably.
Hey Keith, by the way, Michelle made a comment. Just look at it.
Yeah, I
So-
don't.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it's
what
just.
happened?
I guess the video stream
My audio is cutting in and out.
and stuff like that, but
Michelle said something about she hated Keith, or I don't remember.
Yeah,
That's
his name is so boring.
It's the most unattractive male name in
in
English.
English language, according to Family Guy.
That's right, Family Guy.
I think
I'd still never forget that.
I think Slavic Fedorov might be
Mhm.
worse.
Jeez.
I
Watched
watched the Ridley Scott movie.
Oh, how was that? Or how'd you like working on that?
That joke never gets old.
No, it never does.
Yeah.
Never.
It does. We're talking about
Last Duel. Jesus. It's
Yeah, last
slow.
goal.
Yes, I'll have more scotch.
Oh, sounds like
Thank
you're
everyone.
Oh,
Sounds
Keith was the bomb in Phantoms.
That's right.
It
sounds like you're
filming
filming
yourself when you do that, Mike.
It sounds like
No,
Miss
that's the other
McGill.
hand. That's the other
Sounds like
hand.
Miss McGill getting up the ass.
So
You've seen that?
We've heard it anyway.
All right, Last Duel. How'd you like it?
Ah!
Ooh.
It's fucking slow.
Yeah, Jamie's dead. Jamie's dead.
I held it in.
It was slow.
It takes a long time to get 23 minutes
To get to where it's going.
the duel, the
Like
fight.
Keith.
Spoiler. That was pretty
Pretty good.
I like the way it ended.
I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10 if I had to give it.
a 10
Okay.
scale.
I
but-
wanted to see it. That
I
was
understand.
Good. I mean, that director, holy shit, he's like Ridley Scott just shoots out movies left and right. He did that, and
he's old as shit too.
the House of Jamie Pucci or whatever it is.
House of Jamie.
So-
That is a good movie. I love that movie.
Skateboarding is not a crime.
Not like big.
They're
on, like,
right
I
about
don't know enough
that.
about
Ridley Scott. as far as how
known for.
but you'd have
But
the complaints, it didn't go over very well. Blaming millennials for
the reason why the movie
bombed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
But like
Did you see that interview with him where he just went off on that interview guy?
Probably right.
I
The
heard, I
guy
read about it.
goes, he says something. He goes, "Oh, your movie Last Duel is much more realistic than Robin Hood," and he mentioned something else. And Ridley Scott goes, "Well, fuck you, thank you so much. Go fuck yourself. All right, go on."
Oh, that's awesome.
You gotta find that. It is so hilarious.
Wow.
He just goes, "Fuck you, go fuck yourself." All
I don't know
right, go
about
on.
a drive of the week, but that's something that should have been played on this broadcast.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But
And Keith, when you talk about the boring thing, I've heard it is very much in line with Kingdom of Heaven, the one he did with Orlando Bloom,
Yeah.
to where it's a really good movie, but it just slogs and it goes so fucking boring.
hey, you know, I'll say this though, like you gotta admire that someone's at least trying to still make. And granted, I like Marvel movies. I know Jamie doesn't, but it's like at least there's some people trying to still make a good movie, you know, and they're trying to do
Right.
something.
Something
And they may not
different.
succeed, but they're trying to do something different. you
I
know?
think the
The
reason
reason it didn't resonate
Yeah.
with people was because
cool
at
at the end, right?
but the events that lead to the duel
3
is
times.
from
Ah,
each one's a
Rashomon.
little each one.
Oh yeah.
And so
I mean, it's interesting.
if you're a movie fan,
Full fan would just be like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
I found
My first thing I was thinking, it's like it's a period piece, and
Mhm.
you're not going to see a lot of people going to see that. However,
Mhm.
I stand corrected because then you can just say, well, we'll look at Game of Thrones, like people fucking jerk.
Well, Game of Thrones though, and I've never seen an episode, but it seems like the
Mm.
simple formula is to add in a lot of violence and a lot of sex to the
Yeah.
period piece. And then once you do that,
You can't make it
gets
worse.
appealing.
Yeah.
there's a
A lot of nudity in Game of Thrones.
let's
See, I
see,
think this is
Especially in that first season. So that's how they got you hooked. There was just fucking boobs everywhere.
they
put a
put
link to
the
the
interview. They
Yeah.
put a link to the interview, but they don't tell where the good
No,
part is.
but, no, but
I think when I saw it, it was like right in the beginning. It was like the guy.
and you know, Mike, going off of what you were saying about the whole Marvel movie thing, I got to be honest. I think I'm off the bandwagon.
Are you?
I saw the last two, Black Widow and Shang-Chi, and I was like, no, not Black Widow. Yeah, those two, and then also the Eternals. And they're starting to fall into that. They're overdoing their certain formula that they have in each movie.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so predictable and just not fun. So like even Eternals, I prior to say Avengers Endgame, there wasn't an MCU movie that I said, well, I really don't like that. There were some I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with it. But the last three, I really didn't like any of them.
Well,
Like
it's
and a lot of it is because they're following that same formula still. It's like, dude, you gotta shake it up.
it's a lot of things. One is just following the same formula for sure. So complex, and then they started introducing characters that no one cares anymore because they couldn't do anything with the characters they had anymore. So like if you like Captain America or you like Iron Man or you fell in love with the actors playing them or whatever, all of a sudden you're in a whole different world that wasn't what they built. So it's like, I kind of, I'll tell you the honest truth. I was over it. Like when we were starting to get into the Avengers movies, like I was kind of like, I was, yeah, that too. But I like the more basic ones. Like I like the origin stories for Iron Man and Captain America. I like those Winter Soldier, some of those movies.
Yeah.
But after that, it does follow a formula. You're totally right.
Well,
I think
especially because the TV shows are far superior now.
that's what I was just gonna say. Those like the Wanda show and the Loki show were both.
Well, even the new one, Hawkeye, is outstanding because you're watching it and you actually get to see Jeremy Renner act, and you forget how good an actor he actually is after seeing him in a bunch of those movies. And that's Mike's penis, not his finger.
That's right. No, I was trying to point to Jamie, but of course Jamie's not going to be in the same position Like he was falling
No.
asleep while we were talking about Marvel movies. So I was,
That's right, he was.
No, you brought up Jeremy Rondeau, so I got interested.
No, I said Jamie Randisi. That's what I said.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm about to sleep.
I love. I'll tell you
He
what. I'll
wants you-
never get.
He
sick
wants
of
you to do bacon, Jamie. He wants you to do bacon.
I'll never get sick of the Deadpool movies. I think they're just hilarious.
Oh
Oh, I
god,
fucking
yeah.
love those.
Those movies were
Still
apps.
good in those.
I've seen a lot of the other ones too, and it's watchable. I just don't have any desire to watch them.
Yeah,
I guess-
like you said, over it. Over
No,
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
but when I do sit down and watch any of them, they're really watchable movies. I mean, you know, I definitely have never really been one for comics or anything like that type of stuff. But
Yeah.
But it's really
Yeah,
hard
I
to
don't know.
make.
yeah, Deadpool is ridiculously good.
Yeah,
Say
that's-
what, Keith?
Movies that interconnect with
each other, and I think that's a with going.
subject.
We've beat to absolute fucking death on this show.
Star Wars.
Star Wars
versus Star Trek, where Star Wars is
Mhm.
trying to tell arcing story, and
Star Trek
more or less
standalone movies. Yeah.
that's two and three.
But is Star Wars trying to do that? Are we gonna open that can of worms again? Is it
Well, no.
really?
the Skywalker
It
saga? You
was-
got 9.
No.
You got-
Originally, you had three. You had three that were about Skywalker, and the first three they put were about Skywalker plus 20 other things. And then the
Well-
last three, they couldn't decide where they wanted to go, so they just kept going back and forth. It's about him. It's not about him. It's, so.
Well, J.J. Abrams has said he didn't have a plan. Like they didn't have a plan on how all three movies were going to go.
And it shows.
They just let everyone. Yeah, it absolutely shows. It's all over the fucking place.
Fucking free.
But I mean, I almost think it like if the movies outside of that of the trilogies show anything, it's that you don't have to make them a continued story for that franchise to work. And the Mandalorian, same thing. It's like
Oh God,
you don't have.
I can't wait for Book of Boba Fett, man.
All right.
Yeah, because now we're gonna do the Book of Boba Fett, and then you're gonna do something else like they're gonna do the
Kenobi one.
the Kenobi one. They're gonna do the what is it the special forces.
Uh,
I
you
think
know-
that got.
Oh, that get X'd?
I think that got.
The
X'd, I
Rangers,
think.
Star Wars, the Rangers.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That one guy kiboshed, I think. But if you can come up with compelling story, I was skeptical of the Mandalorian, not because I didn't like Boba Fett or anything.
Me too.
You start the Mandalorian, Boba Fett's dead, right?
Start like that.
Jango Fett got beheaded by Mace Windu, so
Armor.
starting out, but
Obviously, you
look back and they knew what the fuck they were doing. They made a branch off a storyline that made sense, was compelling, kept you coming back. You know, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt now with Book of Boba Fett. Upset that the Rogue Squadron movie got kibosh because Kennedy is up to her fucking
No,
ways.
fucking
Fuck things
bitch.
up again.
Well, but here's the thing: if the Marvel Universe shows anything, it's that you can take your time to build a story, and you can if you're gonna shoot out and do Boba Fett story now, and play it basically where you have the premise of the area of Star Wars, like the foundation, and then you go off and do something else. You can do that, and if you look at the Mandalorian, it has nostalgia all over it.
Yeah.
But it's just not drilling to death the same formula exactly as the first Star Wars movies.
Like,
You know?
Steve, do you know the number? How many movies is it from Iron Man to and it's all
26.
It's in the 20s.
I think it's
It's
26.
20 something.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
wow.
all
Intertwined and
interlinked, and like Disney Plus sets them up in order
If you find
the right screen.
Never do that. Yeah. Never watch them in chronological order.
It's between Iron Man and Thor and Incredible Hulk. Like it introduces all the Avengers and then it brings them together, and then they have side offshoots like that. And I didn't mind Black Widow. Like the two characters that were Avengers were Black Widow, and
Hawkeye.
and just because they didn't really have any special powers.
Because they're trunked.
Oh, they're
Exactly.
completely red.
No one gives a fuck about Hawkeye. I thought it was a fucking character from MASH. All right, now all of a sudden everybody's like, Hawkeye, get the fuck out of here. Like, wake me up when they do a Groot.
You fucking Houlihan. Yeah. Yeah.
She's the blonde widow.
Oh my god, that's fucking jacked up.
So
Does anybody know anything about the new Matrix movie?
Yeah, it's gonna suck.
Well, yeah. Anything after the first movie was destined to suck. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they're not get. I saw the preview when I went to see the Ghostbusters movie. There it is. It was only a matter of time, Keith. When I saw the Ghostbusters movie, they had the preview, and I just turned. I said, "They're not getting me again." I'm like, they botched this movie twice after the first one. I'm not looking at this fucking thing.
I'm gonna have to see it now because I'm in. But like, there never should have been a movie after the first one. There, I said it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Steve likes Ghostbusters too.
I love Ghostbusters.
I love Ghostbusters too. Al. You know this.
Yeah. For the new Matrix, you just had to wait for the director to cut his dick off, and then maybe I'll make a good movie.
I heard crazy stuff about the CGI though, where like people were basically wondering if some of the actors were real or not, or
so
yeah, starting to get weird.
Really?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, the ludicrous amount of the whole movie is basically a big storyboard CGI project.
The new
It looks like.
movie.
Yeah.
The new Matrix. Yeah.
That sounds like pure fucking torture.
Yeah.
What I saw in the preview was it wasn't the worst thing to come from the idea that they don't remember anything again. It's just it wasn't different enough where it piqued my interest. Like I kept like saying like, okay, I see exactly where you're going with this. Like there was no surprise or no shock to it. I know exactly what the movie is going to be about without ever going to see it. So
yeah.
And that doesn't appeal to me that much. So.
And I'm sorry, with Keanu Reeves with the long hair and beard, it just looks like John Wick in The Matrix.
He looks like John Wick on Prozac.
Yeah.
He's just.
But it's like, oh, okay, so I guess he's just that character now.
Yeah.
So.
And Keith, there were 23 movies in the original Infinity War saga. There have been 3 more after. So Mike is right, 26 total, but 23 in that first storyline arc.
The phase, whatever.
And there was some duds in there, like
fucking turd.
Thor 2 was bad.
See, I don't agree. I don't want to harp on this because I know Jamie doesn't want to talk about this at all. But the second Iron Man movie was the one that was the turd to me. The third one I thought was actually
second one.
No, that's the
that
third
was
one.
The third one.
So
But
the
the
second
third
one's got Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. But I thought that
third one is Christmas time.
I thought that 3 was kind of cool that it examined his alcoholism and stuff that it hadn't done before. It was like kind of cool that it got 7, which is a little more like the comic. But
Well, that's why I loved Infinity War. That movie was miserable.
yeah.
But then I'm trying to think because it was the Thor and Hulk movies came out and then American Civil War is probably one of my all-time favorite action movies. That movie was just.
I actually
go ahead. Steve.
I like Winter Soldier better than that one because Winter Soldier to me is more of a standalone movie. Like you can show something like Jamie. I bet Jamie, if he watched the Winter Soldier, he would enjoy it because it's not really a superhero movie. It's more of a spy movie. Yeah. And Robert Redford is fucking awesome in that, and so is Sebastian Stan.
Yeah,
I love Winter Soldier.
I agree with that.
First Captain America movie, I hated it. I did see the first one.
You did see the first one and hated it, really?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater.
It was very. That surprises me because it was very much like an Indiana Jones movie. The first one.
God.
Oh, it was.
Crystal,
No, it was.
Like
it
Crystal
was
Skull.
No, like it was better than that. It drew a lot from Raiders of the Lost Ark, honestly. Like you could, it did.
I couldn't stand it.
But no, I don't like the third one all that much, only because I really like the fight between the Avengers, but the rest of the movie was just setting up for that. And I'll be perfectly honest, I can't remember even what happened to the end, and I consider I have a pretty good memory.
The
Like
fight
I
at the
can't.
airport?
I guess like the two of them fought, and it was this whole like I lost the plot at the end. I was like didn't care. The fight at the airport was excellent, but then
Yeah.
after that, it's like the whole hour and a half after that, where you're like, I don't give a shit. You know?
Oh, I had a totally different.
But you were masturbating too while you're watching.
Well, it's what
Well, so was I.
In fact,
That'll happen.
Mike, Keith masturbating and you masturbating are very different things.
Of course.
Because you can just do this. He has to do this. I mean, it's just
It's a lot
it's a
more
thing.
work. It
It's a thing.
requires weight training and concentration. You know, yeah. There's
Mike, you,
a lot
you
more.
shot put your balls.
Yeah.
Well, those things are massive.
They are.
Those are some meaty clankers.
Oh,
How does
Christ.
Steve know this?
I've seen them.
Hey, let's do our
Let's do our
Mike-
second. Let's do our second drive of the week.
I want to talk about Mike's balls a little more.
Yeah, but a little more.
Let's get into that after the drive.
All right. Gotta
All
pay
right,
bills.
so
Cheeto.
second drive of the
Wait,
week.
wait. Do you have to do the introduction?
No.
We always start the show with a blah 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 blah. Just Jamie,
Yeah.
about fuck yourself.
Baba Booey.
I've done that. Damn it.
Every now and then you get a little
Glimpse of how Mike really
feels about me.
Oh God, stop!
We start
He's gonna
He's gonna get double jaw with this episode.
I'm trying to help you out because you're cutting this up. I want to help you.
We start every episode with a
Rape.
dragon. It's a movie or a TV show said with exceptional velocity. Segment belongs to Jamie Klein, not Mike Burdick.
You really are a funny guy. Ah!
Jesus Christ! I don't need eardrums. Fuck.
Holy shit!
We'll fix
All
it
right,
in
ladies,
post.
gentlemen, and Kyle Rittenhouse, how you doing? All right, so this drive of the week is
Too soon.
this drive of the week is I think it's going to be Midnight Run, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. Keith,
Yes.
is it? We're doing Midnight Run. Midnight Run is a great comedy action film with Robert De Niro, Charles Grodin, and of course Joey Pantalone. And Joey Pants is absolutely fucking hilarious. It's a small part, but man, this guy does a lot of screaming. And here's a clip from Midnight Run. If you haven't seen it, you fucking suck.
Wow. Oh, hold on a second now, because
Chino.
Right.
hold on. Riverside is not responding, so this will be edited out as I was trying to share the screen.
Now for some editing.
Yeah. I may have asked too much of Google Chrome.
Jesus Christ, Keith.
Oh my God!
What did you ask?
All my screens. Google Chrome is not responding. No, I can't close the program because we'll lose the stream. Son of a mother.
Never mind. I do fucking hate you. Fuck you.
I personally just prefer the honesty.
Chrome.
Chino.
So what happened? Everything froze? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
the Google Chrome is not responding. The YouTube video that I had queued up, the Facebook window watching the stream, and also Riverside.
So everything you should like. We're not doing anything right now.
Oh no,
Yeah, because Riverside's a piece of shit.
it's not Riverside.
Why do you like Riverside so much?
I just want to be honest about the technology.
No, I'm saying. First of all, are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Okay. What? No, but why? Like, I understand the frustration you must go through, but why do you defend it so adamantly? Like, it's
not that
not
I
your
defend it.
invention.
No, but if there's a fair criticism, then that's fine. But just to say Riverside sucks, and I know why Steve does it because he wants to get me to fucking react. I get it.
No, that's a fair criticism.
So we're not recording or anything right now.
No, we're recording. The stream might be interrupted, but we're recording, so we can still talk.
Oh, okay.
Africa.
I've interrupted my stream a few times.
Yeah, Pete makes a good point.
He does. He really does.
Yeah.
It's true. Those subtle words just fucking kill me every time. Do I have time to go get another beer?
Do you have time to get another beer? We're filming for 6 hours. Go ahead, get a beer.
Okay,
You know what? You know what? I'm going to close
Rape
up.
Amy Hild?
Yeah. No, I'm not actually. I'm going to stop this so you guys might have to join back in. Okay. So I don't know what's going to happen. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Jerusalem.
Yes, that's just what they.
Guys,
he's the only one that got
up. Guys, tell me something. Do I come off like I hate Keith? What is going on? with
Sometimes you do. Yeah, sometimes you do.
Really? I'm just trying to make drama with the show. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to do anything.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Zoo.
That's all right, Mike.
Find it on
Just a
Verbo.
little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh, look, we're still. Riverside still has us recording, and it looks like the stream is still going.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Cross the streams.
Hold on. Here we go. Store all my windows, and I have to get it all fucking queued up again.
I hear that's expensive.
It is legitimate.
Go canceled. Yes. Okay.
What the fuck?
Jesus.
That's what I say after I bang a chick. I'll fix it in post by kicking you down the stairs.
All right. So, Jamie.
Now, here we
go with.
We just got a blast from a pass from Steve by like 20 years ago. What the hell?
I think I'm pregnant, Mingia Karen.
Oh,
Look down the stairs.
That's someone else.
Oh, she was all done.
Poor Karen.
How are you pregnant? I put it in your arse.
we're still on Facebook.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but they don't know who the fuck Karen is.
Fuck that noise. That's all I gotta say about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking of another Karen.
All right.
Yeah, Karen from Old Church Video.
Yeah.
It's midnight. Joe
Pantoliano.
the drive of the week.
Hi, everybody.
Yes.
I got it. Listen, I need you to wire me 500 to the West Amarillo, Texas, right away.
Wait a minute. What do you do with $500 on a bus? On a plane.
Did it ever occur to you that I am a professional and that I might have my reasons? I don't have enough cash to get to Amarillo. We have to scrap the bus.
What happened to the goddamn plane?
Cash to get to Amarillo. We have to scrap the
bus. I want to know what happened to the goddamn plane.
bus.
Fuck the bus. I want to know what happened to the goddamn.
Fuck that bus.
I want to know what happened to the goddamn plane.
Joe Pantoliano just.
Wait, that's not the drive though.
Oh, I thought that was the drive.
Yeah, no, you got to keep playing that, motherfucker.
Oh, I thought
Keep
that was
playing
like,
it.
I was like, wow, that's a muted.
Yeah, no, keep going.
He doesn't like to fly.
Why? What the fuck does that mean? Listen to me, Jack. You gotta be back here in less days. $500 million of my money. What the fuck is going on there?
Or I will shoot him and I will dump him in the fucking swamp. I am in no fucking mood for this. Just send me the money and I'll have him back by the deadline. You hear me? Let's go.
Of my money. What the fuck is going on there?
Eddie.
Oh, it's so good.
My money. What the fuck is going on there?
Eddie.
He's off.
It
So that
was
was very
like
weak.
echoing.
Eddie.
It wasn't
Was it
echoing on my
echoing?
end. It wasn't echoing on my end. Was anybody else echoing?
Yes.
It echoed, yeah.
Great.
It was chocolate.
Fantastic.
Fix it in post.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now
That was the Drive of the Week brought to you by Trashman Media for all the latest DVD, Blu-ray combo. Conversation reviews. Go to trashmanmedia.com. And also Oh man.
And don't forget to eat your fucking www.post raisin bran cereal.
Sue.
See, now Jamie's in a different place. It's gonna be fucked up.
Oh my god, Jamie's doing it in post right now. Oh, it's fucking murder.
All right,
That
so
was
you want
fucking murder.
to talk about Mike's balls?
Go on.
Yes.
A little bit.
It was
covered in goosebumps.
It was a few years ago. I couldn't sleep. I was having nightmares, and I woke up and I saw that Mike was the last person I texted, so I had to tell him that I was having a hard time. And then he just sent me a picture of his balls, and somehow it soothed me to sleep. I have no idea why.
It's the least I could do, you know.
I thought you pulled a Betsy and just flopped him right on his head.
No. I did fart though when he showed it to me. But
how about
when Steve was doing his makeup and those fucking tests?
how about we keep certain names out of the conversation? You can tell the story. Some people could get disbarred.
Right?
So.
Yes.
Jamie, you hit that one a little.
She looked like a.
No, I just don't want third parties to get fucked up in their personal life.
She looked like a Klingon with those things in her head.
Can we bring up D?
Oh god.
Oh yeah. No, it wasn't that. Just there, you know. It's not the person. It's the profession.
Sincerely yours, D.
it's funny that we can talk about D because we're talking about D's nuts.
I didn't realize her last name was. Did I tell you guys?
Oh fucking!
Did I tell you guys the story about D's nuts and when we were across the street?
What?
No.
Yeah, you said like what your son or someone like when the kids or something.
My son and his friend said, "Yeah, I could be D's and Kyler could be nuts. We could be." And the parents just looked at each other like, "We can't laugh at that."
Absolutely, you can.
You
definitely laugh at that. Fuck that.
If there's no point in having kids if you can't laugh at that.
So then they went.
No.
Appropriate in the other room. We fucking chuckled, and I said, "They don't even know about Bofa." Like, what? Nuts.
Oh my god.
What's the most fucked up thing your kid ever said? Is that it or
fucked up like dark?
Just the most fucked up thing that's ever come out of their mouth.
When it went into my fucking sock.
There you go.
Sue. What the fuck?
like I think for me it was coming out of the shower one time, and my little daughter, who was like 3 years old, said to me, said that my vagina looked really weird.
Yeah. Well, she's not wrong.
No,
it doesn't look like
why was she in the fucking bathroom?
Jamie, you wouldn't understand, but kids come in and out of everywhere. They run around. They're there, you know.
At that little, there's no bounds.
It is the size of.
It's not like she was sitting there going like watching, you know. It's just like she was kids running around.
It's like Carrie.
It is the size of a big clit, though, Mike. So
it is. You're not wrong either.
Yeah, I just imagine Mike is in slow motion with the soap all.
You guys ever watch The League?
Oh yeah, fucking love that show.
The show, The League.
Show's the best.
Hey Keith, have you ever brought up The League on the show before?
No, I don't think I had. But I was just remembering the episode the guy that had his nutsack hanging out of his shorts was going up to all the girls at the bars. I sat and gum.
Was that Andre? No, that wasn't Andre. Was
I knew some guys who used to do that. They used to take their nuts out of their pants and they'd go and hit on girls.
Holy shit!
Oh, that's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's fucking brilliant.
Honestly, 9 times out of 10, they were doing really good with them too.
That was obviously post Me Too, right?
Yeah. And they eventually looked down, you know, a lot of times they would just sort of laugh, and it was a pretty incredible thing to witness way too many times.
The level of social
Oh my god.
acceptance change because it's a sack and not a dick. You think if you like walk through your
Ah,
top
yeah.
out and shit,
What?
if
Yeah,
you like
'cause
walk
your balls don't grow when you're horny.
walked out, you just put your you unzipped your jeans and let your dick hang out, and you walked up to the girls. Action.
I don't know if that makes much difference.
I think the balls is
The balls
get
are
more
not.
of a tame response.
Yeah,
Right.
The balls.
See, the balls, I'd be terrified though, because most girls would have the smarts to just nut tap you. And if they're fully exposed like that,
True. Yeah.
fucking forget about it. That would be horrible.
like a your leg, you just fucking.
I never saw anybody do that, but yeah,
Oh God.
yeah,
Imagine.
Oh,
they must have fought the
testicles.
instinct back.
Yeah. But going back to what Mike was asking, the most fucked up thing Ethan ever said. Gemma still hasn't really said anything fucked up, but it was God, he had to have been like 2 or 2.5. We were in the drive-through at Tim Hortons, and it was just him and I. He was in the back seat. He had started talking, but he couldn't really put sentences together. And there was a woman in the car ahead of us who was ordering everything on the fucking menu, which I hate when people go through drive-through and do that. So she was taking forever, and it got to the point where I'm like, lady, can you just order? And from the back seat, I hear, move your fucking car. And I turn and I look, and he's smiling at me, proud. And I started laughing. I was like, not only did he say it in perfect context, but it was like, it was in the right situation. Every word was very clear. I was like, that's a perfect sentence to say in that moment.
That is the mark of good parenting right there. That's excellent. That's really
I was proud of him. I gave him a high five. He was all proud of himself.
Yeah, you conquered that at an early age. You know, it's tough to get that just right.
Well, and that's the funny thing. Like my brother Brian, he's terrified to say any word in front of my nephew. Like we can't even say like damn or hell or anything like that. And now my nephew, who's I believe he's 10 or 11, he swears all the time, and my brother can't get him to stop. To where I swear all the time in front of the kids because it's like it's just words. Like I always believed if you make them taboo, they're gonna want to say them even more.
Right.
Absolutely.
So.
Definitely.
And he doesn't like neither one of them ever say. Tonight was the first time I heard him say anything. We were doing something, and he got frustrated. He's like, "Jesus Christ!" I was like, "Okay, that's awesome."
Here's the problem
Because he hears me say that like 17 times a day.
Here's the problem with your formula. I've never made them taboo. I've always been like I don't encourage them to swear in the house or anything, but I haven't hid it from them, and I've talked about my daughter when she started doing it. The problem is the X factor of school. So once you introduce them to certain movies or whatever at an early age, and then they go to school and they come home swearing more, it's like it's that third part that kicks out the reason out of that. So it's not like, yeah. So
Well, that got me in trouble in second grade. I want to say it was, oh God, who the hell was it? It was like Leanne Milner or something. I said, fag.
He said the F word. I'm like, no, I didn't. I said, fag, not fuck.
And I said both words, and the teacher just looked at me. She's like, "You're going to the principal's office." I was like, "Oh shit!" I was so mad that she was lying. I was like, "I didn't say fuck." Oh, I got in so much trouble.
Yeah, that was not the F word.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
I remember I said I didn't realize that I was saying a swear word, and I said taint. And I was like saying taint all over the fucking Mr. Dobler's third grade classroom. and I didn't fucking know. And I'm just like, I fucking yelled it out at one point.
It's not even a swear word. It's a slang word.
Someone said, you can't say that. I'm like, taint. Fucking, I don't know.
That's not even a swear word. If a teacher called me and said he said taint, I'm like, all right. What else did he say? Nothing. You just said that. Well, that's not a fucking swear word.
There's like no prayer of anybody knowing what that is. You know, I
did.
I was
For some
probably
reason,
like 20
everybody
before
did.
I heard that word. I don't know.
For some reason, everybody knew it. And I guess you're not supposed to say Mr. Dobler is a taint.
Well, okay. Yes.
Even if there was some truth to it.
Yeah. That's probably true, Mike.
I didn't say that, but in going back, my older self could go back. He might have said that.
Like I knew throwing Tony.
Oh my God. What is the urban legend with Mr. Doblers? Did he pick someone up in the chair, took him out to that outer area and threw him down or something?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, threw the chair into the coat room or whatever the hell that thing
The
was.
cubby thing? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Supposedly that happened.
I think it's an urban legend.
Who was the student that did that?
I want to say it was Mark Amos. A teacher did it, but to Mark Amos or.
So
it was Fave, I thought.
Was it? Okay.
I think it was so. Fave. Yeah, I thought it was Tony.
Well, I mean, it would make sense.
It was a third grade teacher at Clem South.
What was the biggest teacher freakout you guys ever witnessed?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, when fucking.
That was pretty bad.
God, what was the name of the humanities teacher who was short, black hair?
Greisinger?
Greisinger. I was in a class with Andy Pence, and he threw something across the room trying to hit somebody and hit her right in the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember her going, ah! And like making this little crying sound, and then she freaked out and said, whoever threw that, you really hurt me, and that's disrespectful, and you need to apologize. And you hear Pence in the back, sorry. Just like really quiet. But because I was sitting right next to where she was standing. I was sitting right next to where she was standing, and he fucking pegged her. I want to say it was something hard too. It was like
it's a battery, right?
Pencil sharpener or battery. Yeah, I think it was a battery. And it just fucking hit her right in the back of the head. And it was so loud. Oh my God. It was amazing. Like she lost her shit.
Freaked out on, remember that, Jamie?
Which one?
Roy Bott freaked out one time on Mario Calunio or something like that.
Yeah,
or somebody. No, it wasn't him. It was somebody. He like took his glasses off and like was wiping his face down like he did, and he's like, if you can't say anything without making sexual innuendos, like, it
would have been a great drive of the week.
It was a good drive.
I forgot about that. He did say that because it was something. Yeah, someone.
I don't remember who said what or something about balls.
Yeah, something about balls or dick or something like that with a fucking.
I don't know.
Test tube or something. I don't know what it was.
Oh yeah, he like just stopped everything. Like
he did do that. I still remember. He like, if you can't make, comments without making sexual innuendo, then you just got on. It's like you just fucking freak out. We're like dead silent, and of course. Later years.
Happened. I'm thinking to myself, like, what I would have done in that moment, if I would have waited a minute, and then I just would have went, yeah, I can't stop. It was the perfect opportunity to do that. Anyways.
Oh my God, that would be great. I'm trying to think. I Mrs. Gutter. From
there had to be more than that.
She kicked me out because she hated gory things, and I took a Fangoria magazine and I took a picture of some guy with his intestines hanging out, and I said, "For you, Mrs. Gutter," like joking around. She thought it was me saying I was going to kill her, and so she went.
Sue!
Yeah, she went to the principal. I was kicked out of the class for the rest of the
now
year.
you'd be in jail for that.
Yeah, probably. And it was like I had to go to E36 every time. I had to go to E36. Goddamn E36. I had to go there for that whole period, and then I go back to my other classes. But I was like, I didn't mean anything by it because she hates gory stuff. I thought it was funny. But like, no. And then I was on one math test. I was writing Metallica lyrics, and I wrote like "Do unto you as they do," whatever it was from "Fight Fire with Fire," and she interpreted it a different way. So,
jeez.
Whatever.
Oh, I really thought you had it out for her.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't.
It's time that like teachers didn't start paying attention to that stuff until like the last 10 years.
No, I guess not.
Apparently, not.
I do remember our science teacher, Mr. Harvey, flipped out on. I want to say it was Tony LaFave. again.
I don't think he was around by then.
Charlie Fave?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Was he?
In junior high.
He was
Yeah, high
probably
school. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him in high school. But
he was in school all the time.
right. And I just remember he was like
in school, fucking in
like
school.
sleeping or something, and the teacher went and grabbed it by the scuff of the neck there and pulled him up, and he just flipped it. Tony Fave flipped. I goes, "Get your hands off me, man! What the fuck?" He's like, "Get out of the classroom!" And they just started yelling at each other. We're like,
Wow.
Mr. Harvey. Ooh.
Yeah. And I liked Mr. Harvey. He was a pretty cool guy.
You aren't supposed to put your hands on a kid, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
To catch a predator.
Tell that to Mrs. Somerville.
Yeah.
Tell that to the Catholic
Oh,
Church.
I had Pegalo. Yeah.
I had Pegalo also, but I remember Mrs.
Oof.
Somerville was scary.
I had that crazy lady. Holy crap.
I don't feel like I've ever.
Head still hurts from the ballpoint pen she used to jab into you.
Oh, she's totally.
Zoo.
Don't worry, she's totally dead now.
Oh, yeah.
What grade was
this?
this?
Fishes now. Kindergarten.
Well, I got to be honest. I wish she could have died twice.
Yeah.
Oh, Zoo. Holy shit.
So
Well, you know,
so you have.
She had
fond
no business teaching children. Like none
So
whatsoever.
let's go dig that cunt up and fucking do it again.
Like in hindsight, as a kid, I'm like, she had to have been like 80 years old, right? Like she had probably she was only like 50 or 60, but as
Yeah.
a kid, like she looked like
She was
fucking old
ancient,
monster.
man. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was like in
Yeah.
her last legs when we were there. Like she used to be at like 140 now. She's alive.
I feel like when you're a kid, there's your parents, and everybody older than your parents is 95. When you're a
Yeah.
kid.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta
Yeah,
tell you,
my
man.
parents
Like
were 50.
I don't know if it's just because obviously fashion changes and everything, but people that are our age now, they used to look a lot more ancient. I don't think it's subjective. I think they looked old.
Oh, it's true. Like, everything is a giant filter these days, especially online. But like everybody's getting Botox every other day and lip injections and you fucking name it. But like, yeah, people don't look like my grandfather retired at 55 and I went to the party and I'm thinking, God damn it, this guy is old.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the oldest human being I've ever seen in my entire life, like,
yeah,
like 55 might as well have been like, 6,000 or so. It's just,
They just look
Yeah.
old. They look at least 10 years
So
older at
old.
the age they were.
oh,
I feel like
definitely. Yeah.
I thought about this yesterday. I was watching. You remember that band, the Traveling Wilburys?
Mhm.
Not at all.
No.
It's
Harrison,
George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Bob Dylan, Tom
Oh.
Petty, and Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Right.
And every time I
Yeah.
saw Roy Orbison, I thought he was a million years old. He was 52 when he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, his health was awful.
Yeah, but when
But
he
you
was
you look at him, he looked like he was 100,
he was a guy
and he's
that
only a
when he
few
was-
years older than us.
When he was super young, when he was just starting out, he dressed himself up to almost look older. Like he was super stiff. He'd like put those huge glasses on. Like he was setting himself
How
up.
did you know what his penis was like, Mike?
Oh.
Oh,
Why does it always go back to the penis with you? I wonder.
Yeah, do you remember
You said
Jim
he was
Croce?
super stiff. I was just thinking.
Like when
Oh,
Jim
yeah.
Croce died, like he was
Walking
what,
down
like
the
28 or
street.
something. He looked like he was
Yeah, yeah,
70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was a young man when he died.
Yeah.
He wasn't much older than 30, I
Oh,
don't think.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that fucking young.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, pretty
Jesus Christ.
He was 20.
Yeah, he went young.
Who?
Jim Croce.
Jim Croce,
27.
Oh.
but he looked
Chris
like
Martin,
an
he
old
goes young
man.
every
Like, he was
Saturday night.
crazy.
Or wait,
I
no,
should have said
no,
that.
wait. I think I did my math wrong.
Yeah, something like that.
Pretty much the
I'm
same.
sorry.
The same age.
Oh.
He died.
I feel like by the time when my dad was 45, he was ancient. You know what I mean? To
Oh
me,
yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
I feel like my dad got old when he got sick. Before that he wasn't, but then he got so much older just from the cancer. Like he aged astronomically.
Yeah.
Like my cousin came to the funeral and they had like the picture we had of him out front, and she's like, she hadn't seen him in years, and she's like, that doesn't even look like him at all. It's like that changed, but he was a person that stayed younger until. But
I don't know. I think your dad started aging because of Chino.
oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that, but I think on the inside.
Yeah.
Chino.
No.
You know, going back to the teacher freakouts, the only teacher freakout I remember were the ones aimed at me. Like there was Mr. Kohlheiser throwing me out for sleeping in.
Yeah, but you see, I was trying to think of freakouts, and I can't think of over the top. Like Mr. Kohlheiser, Keith and I were in a lot of the same classes, and the Mr. Kohlheiser's freakout was very low, like under freakout.
He just had enough,
which made it worse because he was very much like, Keith, I've had enough of you. Had no respect for me and no respect of this class. Get out.
Respect for me.
Respect for me. He didn't get
you
any
goes
more,
around. Jerks off guys.
Any bigger than that. And Keith got mad because he was being kicked out of class. And all of a sudden, so Keith, I want you to leave. I want you to leave. And Keith got out, and all of a sudden you hear the book fly down the freaking hallway. But I
checked that fucking thing.
Yeah.
We were reading All the President's Men, and it was second period, and I'm fucking tired, and they're just talking about this book that I hadn't read. So I just fucking put my head down. Just fucking dozed off because I was tired. And Keith, just respect for this book and for this class. I want you to go down to Mr. Adams' office. And I'm like, this is the first time I've ever been kicked out.
Oh, Grizzly.
No, I take that back. The first time was in junior year. This was senior year. But I was just, I'm like, I'm sorry, Mr. Coy. Season 2. I didn't want to have to fucking tell my coach I got kicked out of class. It would have been a shit show. And I was like, I'm sorry. Oh, get out. And that's when, the way that he cut me off like that, I was just like, fuck this. I went, closed the door, and I fucking launched that book. And you could tell, I never saw a book fly through the air like a frisbee so as this book. It just kind of went, sideways like that, and it landed and hit the ground and slid down the fucking floor. It was perfect. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, you could hear the whole thing from the class. It was awesome.
What did Kohlheiser do when he did that?
No, nothing.
Oh, what did he do? He just he tried to, I'm telling you, this is what I'm saying. He was very understated, so he tried not to show any emotion at all. And it was it's very underwhelming, honestly, as for the story. But you could hear, because we were in one of those extension classrooms way down. I don't know, not the first two, but way further down. So there was nothing happening in that hallway. So you just hear Keith's book echoing down the fucking hallway.
Yeah. Oh, those weird ass extensions. That's right.
Yeah, the extensions. That's where they were. Yeah.
This really is amazing. I can't believe there were no really good freakouts.
I can't think of a single one.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single one, honestly.
A teacher get hit by a student before too. When Brett Baldwin punched Mr. Condon in grade school.
Really?
Oh, so.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
He was flustered, but he didn't say anything. He kept he kept himself from saying anything and just grabbed him and kind of walked him out of the room and then, whatever. But
I can tell you honestly, there were some teachers that, everything aside, that deserved to get hit. Honestly, but I never saw it. There were some teachers I had that were horrible people that just hated teaching, hated kids, and were just riding it out. And even in 4th or 5th grade or whatever the fuck, I knew who these people were. They were just miserable human beings.
Oh yeah.
You guys had Mrs. Kirchhoff. We had Mr. Kirchhoff over in Plank South, and he was just a miserable fuck.
Right.
The whole time. He was. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who hears that. He was just a miserable guy. He made everyone's fucking life miserable. I don't know.
Wow. Well then.
Yeah.
Well then. I'm trying to think. Mr. Kennedy threw me out because.
Oh yeah, Mr. Kennedy threw me out.
He moved me for talking, and something was going on in our chemistry room, so we had to go to another room. And so me being the smart ass that I am, I went back to my original seat in the new room. And I don't know what to teachers, I was always respectful. Around you guys, I was a smart ass, but I was always respectful to teachers. But this day, something about me, I just wasn't dealing with anybody's shit. And he walks in the room and he sees that I moved back and he's like, let's go up here. And wasn't talking today, and I wasn't talking the day you moved me either. And he goes, I'm not dealing with you. Get out of here. I'm like, what?
Jeez.
This was the first time I'd ever gotten kicked out of a class. I was just like, I'm sorry, what? You're what? It's like, go to the attic office. I'm not dealing with you. I'm like,
No, Kennedy was kind of wild like that sometimes.
Yeah, he kicked me out.
I don't know if I got kicked out of Kennedy. I had to have.
Yeah.
I don't know that I did though. I remember when he threw Jamie out.
Yeah.
He was
And he was like, he was him and hawing about it.
the other
He's like, all right, just go.
the other history teacher.
He was
Chemistry.
a science teacher. Yeah,
Oh, the other-
chemistry.
What year?
Yeah, because I said
11?
I made a joke about Clockwork
10.
Orange because like some girl came in late, and he goes, "Is there any reason why you were?"
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
And I go, "Oh, she was doing a little the old in out, like that." And he like gave me this dirty look. He goes, "Yeah, Jamie, I don't want to hear this crap." He's like, "No, you know what? Just get out of here. I don't care where you go. Just get out of here."
And you're like, Mr. Kennedy, it's from a movie.
I did. I go, Mr. Kennedy. He goes, "I know the movie, and it means the same way as what you're singing it now. So get out." I was like, okay.
Well, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
I know no animosity towards that man.
Kennedy likes his clockwork.
I mean, if you could take some small solace out of that, is that the guy actually knew what movie you were quoting. He was awesome.
Yeah, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just and he didn't say go to the principal's office. He just told me to get out.
Yeah, it really
Walking
is.
the hallway, like I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I'll never forget you. Do you remember in Baytown Plaza there used to be a bar called O'Doul's?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's where that was my first job. I was a dishwasher there when I was 16. And I remember when I got hired, I went in right after school to interview, and Mr. Kennedy and another teacher were sitting at the bar drinking. And he was really uncomfortable that I saw him drinking at the bar.
Yeah.
So he just started talking to me about X-Files because that was a new show then. And he's like trying to have a conversation with me. I'm like, I don't care that you're drinking. Like he's just sitting at the bar getting wasted after school. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not gonna hold it against you, buddy.
You know, in retrospect, like, what a stupid name for a bar. Like, because like
It's a non-alcoholic bar.
Isn't that the non-alcoholic beer? The original non-alcoholic beer was.
I'm pretty sure that was before that because I think O'Doul's is a newer kind of beer. I don't know if that was around then.
It's pretty old. It's the first one I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been around.
But
You were bound to run into an O'Doul's pub, though. I mean, sooner or later, you know.
I guess. Yeah.
That was the first place I ever got drunk. It was
O'Doul's.
New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, I was washing dishes, and they were having a big blowout in the bar, and the bartender kept coming back asking us if we wanted iced tea, and he made Long Island iced teas for us, and I had like 4 of them.
Oh.
And my mom picked me up, and I was fucking wasted. And I had no idea. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, yeah, I just had iced tea, and it got me all lightheaded. And she's like, oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't know what the fuck I was drinking. They were good. Shit, that made me a Long Island iced tea fan for the rest of my life, though. I was like, oh, shit, that stuff's good.
Meanwhile, I was over at Blockbuster playing with my movies, I guess, across.
Damn, you're turning Pocahontas around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike loves Pocahontas.
I think. Okay, so position. First time he was drunk. What's the first time you remember being shit faced?
Oh,
my first time was actually with Pete at Paul Wilcox.
Pete?
Paul at Webster Manor, and it was the first time I ever learned how to play asshole. And you could.
There's a lot of drunkenness at that place.
Wait a minute. This is the first time you were drunk at all?
Yeah, the first time I was ever.
Wow.
Shit faced drunk. It was late.
What was the name of that girl he was dating then? Ika?
Yeah.
Ichabod? What?
Yeah. It's short for Jessica.
Oh, that's right.
Wait,
yeah, I don't know how anybody came up with that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like why don't you just use or something, or you know?
That'd be like if I like
doing the first part. No. Yeah.
I'm gonna go by instead of Keith. I'm gonna go by
Right.
That's stupid.
It's just.
Who was he?
I guess it saves time. I don't know.
Who was Paul talking to? I remember he was talking to somebody on the phone, And all of a sudden, he stopped talking and said, I got to call you back. And we found out she was stripping in front of him, and he fucked her. That's why he had to hang up. I can't remember who the fuck he was talking to, but all of a sudden, he gets dead silent. He's like, I got to call you back. He just hangs up the phone. And I remember dying. We found out later what happened. I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, it's an emergency. I get it.
And it's funny now because now I think about all the legal weed products I have on my shelf. And when he was living in that apartment, he had that little closet with a couple plants growing in it.
Oh yeah.
And back then we were like, oh,
radical. Oh yeah, at that time that was
huge.
pretty radical. Like, people were still pretty terrified of that stuff back then.
I was scared being in that apartment. I'm like, oh my God, what if the cops come in? I'm fucking
Oh
in the
yeah,
apartment.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you would have went down just for being there. Yeah.
First time I was
In New York State.
everyone
Wow.
was doing
Yeah.
pot, and Marty was puking in the sink, and I remember all that.
Yeah, I was out of there by then. I didn't hear any of this.
Yeah.
But
Oh, were you in Cortland already?
I'm sure I was, because by then, like, if you're talking about him living in Webster Manor,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. I worked there. I got a job there when I came back after my freshman year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I got a job working there. We just partied in that apartment absolutely every day.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
good old days.
You know who I ran into when I was in Webster was Gary Herman. I went to Herman's.
Sorry to hear that.
He is old, man. Now.
Wait,
He was fucking old then.
Wait,
he's an old dude now.
Gary Herman, not Mr. Herman the teacher, Gary Herman from
The
market.
pissed off stable Herman.
Yeah, yeah, Herman's. Gus's older brother.
I own Herman's, man.
The guy that was always on machinery and pissed fucking off. And
This guy was always furious.
Oh, he was awful.
I was in there and I was getting some cider I wanted to take back with me. I said, "Is Gary still working?" She goes, "Oh yeah, he's right over there." And look, this old man with glasses. He's like by a table, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go up and say hi. I doubt he even knows who I am, and he didn't. I just said it. Gary, I worked for you back in the 90s. I just wanted to say hi. He's like, "Oh, hi. How are you?" Like you could tell he's like he has no idea who the hell I am. And why would he? This was like literally I worked there for 2 months.
I don't know, Jamie. I think that he must have had some senile behavior going on, because I don't know how anyone forgets you.
Yeah.
Like when you
that long.
The only person that maybe he would remember more is Marty.
Oh, he definitely know Marty.
Because Marty would throw freaking apples all over that fucking place. we were back. We'd be back working in the back, and he would just start pitching apples against the door, and just like making them like burst all over the fucking place.
God.
I'll tell you what, Jamie. You should have gone up to him. You should have gone, "Hi, I used to work for you in the 90s. Yeah. Where is Lamb buried?"
Well, I actually did bring up Lamb, so I go. Oh, I used to work with Lamb used to be here. He goes, "Oh, that's a long time ago. That's a long time ago." Yeah, does he still have that trailer up there? And before I even get that out, he goes, "Oh no, he's all gone. He's gone. He's gone." So I don't know if he means
what he didn't say is he fucking killed him.
Yeah, I don't know if he means like gone, like Goodfellas. He's gone.
Like they lynched him, but I'm not going to get into that.
He's in the cider.
Oh my God.
Furious.
This is delicious. This is Lamb delicious.
Frivolous lamb.
Frivolous.
Lamb delicious.
All right.
Mike's gone. Mike's fucking gone.
Delicious.
This is a good time to get
Jesus Christ.
Dad. Oh, he's
Mike, what did you try to knock over there? Was that your phone? It's like, what you tried to swat that.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Lamb delicious.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh.
I was like, fucking ruined because you're ruined.
Oh.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Yeah, that's fucking Jack murder.
Hey, Jamie, you want to do the?
Oh yeah. Oh now. Yeah.
What's Keith? What's the drive of the week?
The drive of the week. The drive of the week. If you don't know what a drive is a line from a movie or TV show. It's up with exceptional volume and velocity. And this segment belongs to Jamie.
Velocity.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, and fucking Lamb, if you're hearing us, this is a drive of the week.
Lamb delicious.
Brought to you by Kevin Smith. So this is from a Kevin Smith film, Chasing Amy, starring Jason Lee and Keith Grave. And so this scene is a scene where Jason Lee does a good drive. And so here it is. And Keith will tell you about the making of this after we're done.
One is going to get to the $100 bill first. Friendly lesbian, the man-hating dyke, Santa Claus, or the Easter Bunny.
Hating dyke.
Good. Why?
I don't know.
Because the other three are figments of your imagination.
I don't know.
Because the other three are figments of your fucking imagination. Fucking imagination. Fucking imagination. Because the other three are figments of your fucking imagination.
It's a great drive.
That is a really good drive.
It's a long one. It's a long.
It's a while since I've seen that movie, and I forgot about that scene.
Part of it's the visual though, because you have Keith sitting there and Keith does not move, and Jason Lee just screaming in his ear.
Yeah.
And, like he's not
He
moving.
tries it right in his face.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just gonna sit here and take the full brunt of it.
Because that's what he gets.
Yeah, that's what he gets.
I just watched that the other day. It was like we had the weekend of HBO and Cinemax and Showtime. It was all that shit was for free for the Thanksgiving weekend. And I was just flipping through it, and Chasing Amy was on. I was like, I haven't watched this in a while.
Does it hold up?
At night.
Does it hold up?
It's a little dated. I still like the movie.
I think it's really good.
It's cheap. It is very cheap, and it's got that that Kevin Smith. I don't know.
Extended dialogue, maybe.
Yeah, with a little bit snappy, where no one in real life would talk like that kind of thing.
See, that's funny you say that because I used to say that, and I said that to you, Jamie, and to Matt, and I'm like, the dialogue is not realistic, and Matt's like, oh, it's super realistic. I'm like, no, it's not.
And that one, no, yeah, it's not. But as I was watching, I'm like, they wouldn't talk like this. I mean, a few times, anything with Jason Lee is gold in that movie.
Yeah,
Great.
and they didn't even want to cast him in those movies because they said he was just a skateboarder. He didn't seem like an actor.
But
and that's the thing is he has the perfect delivery for that type of dialogue.
Yes.
Like he can spit it out quick. He can scream his head off like he did in that.
The outtakes are even better at any of those movies because he can't keep his shit together. He laughed through the whole damn
that's
thing.
awesome.
Yeah. But going back to Keith's original question on the first time we got drunk, who else got a good first drunk story?
Oh wow, I did one. But
all right.
Oh, nice. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So by this time, I was pretty cool by swiping, some beers for my dad once in a while, and me and Jim Jelmakowski would walk around the block, and we thought we were pretty damn cool, But like one time, he was house sitting for the lady across the street, and he was over there one night. He's like, "You want to come over and wave the liquor cap?" Yeah. So I ran over there, and we got this bottle of brandy out. This Applejack, disgusting bullshit, right?
Oh,
my God!
So we start drinking because that's what we saw on, start drinking shots, right? I'm like 15. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's like, well, I guess you just drink a bunch of this and then stuff happens, right? So we're doing this for a while, and like we got about 7 or 8 down in less than an hour. We had no. I mean, again, we didn't know what we were doing,
right?
And then it went from, here we are, like thinking we're all cool and doing this thing, to like one ripping my shirt off and like smashing into walls and like
like we did when we were sober.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly like that. I woke up in the backyard the next day, had vomited all over myself.
Oh.
It was freezing freaking cold. It must have been like 55 degrees out when I woke up. I had no idea where I was or what had happened. Nightmare. Apparently, I had like thrown up all over the place and like in the bathroom, and like we two of us like we smashed glasses, and they like I smashed one so hard it got embedded in the wall, little shards.
Oh my god!
So we had to go through the house to kind of like see all of the mystery and wonder that had taken place
His
that we
parents
didn't
just
remember.
weren't there or what?
No, well, he was house sitting for some lady across
Oh, that lady. Yeah, you said
for
that.
a few days, so we had to like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and like apparently like Jim went upstairs and had got her vibrator out of her drawer
Nice.
because he was like smashed against the wall and there was batteries and shit. It was unbelievable. Off and like clean this place up, and
Now, without getting yourself busted, I would love to know if she ever like thought that that was the case, or whether she thought she lost that vibrator.
oh no, she knew.
Oh,
She
she
knew.
did.
She knew that something had went on. Like there was stuff that we missed, and like, yeah, like we. I think he ended up like admitting to some things, but not all of it. And yeah, that was my first heavy drinking story.
That's two epic stories. That's two good ones. What do
Holy
you got?
crap!
What do you got,
I-
Steve?
I told you the one at the bar.
Oh, okay.
Long Island iced tea.
All right. I'm sorry.
Way to listen to me, Mike.
I was drinking. I was busy.
Speaking of drinking, I gotta get another beer.
Oh, of course you do.
Jesus, Jamie.
What you got, Keith?
I told mine already.
Told yours.
Oh, we need Jamie.
Need you.
The guy that's got to tell his story that he's ran away to get a beer. Ironically,
He's never been drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been drunk. I love you guys.
The one that was anti-drinking the longest, though, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I bet the walls kind of came down, you know, with everybody about the same time. Maybe more than others, some people, but
I remember like everybody on this podcast at one point or another was like, "Oh, drinking's all 9."
I was. But ironically, for me, it was I was anti-drinking for a while after I got drunk too much, because my first time I got drunk was 14. And after that, I kind of swore it off.
Oh yeah, that experience.
You said you were 15, right?
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went in and I took one of those huge plastic McDonald's cups, and I might have told the story in the podcast before, but I took the gigantic McDonald's cup and I filled it with beer, and it was just my very old grandmother was living with us. My parents weren't there. So I'm just sitting there drinking this McDonald's cup of beer. I drank it right down, and I said, "Oh, I'll get more." So I went and I found wine.
Oh no!
And I filled the McDonald's cup with wine, and I drank right to the top. So I'm sitting there in the living room on that ugly green chair, and I drink down the wine, like the whole thing. And like my parents came home, and I'm upstairs, and I started throwing up in the toilet, and like. My mom came in all worried. She thought I had the flu. And like she's like, "Oh, this is what would or she goes, "Oh, you know, maybe we should call the doctor." And she's getting all upset. And she went upstairs, and my dad goes, "Yeah, this is what would happen if you ever drank too much."
He's such a wise man.
There was no fooling Bob Burdick on drinking, but yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah, to fill that cup, that's like a bottle of wine to fill a cup like that.
It was a lot more than any reasonable human should have done.
Yeah.
Did you say it was a large?
It was the super size, the big one.
God.
But that got topped in college when on my 21st birthday I did over 21 shots of tequila.
Oh.
And with the exception of margaritas, I haven't had tequila since. So I haven't ever had straight tequila again, ever.
Oof.
Jamie, when was the first time you were drunk? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember. See, that's the thing. I'm so drunk I don't remember. Well, I know Niagara Falls. It was Canada trip 2 or 3. And I remember being really hungover and thinking I was coming down with the flu. Not the same thing. And I remember calling my parents while all you guys are sleeping and asking them, like, oh, what do I do? And, you know, like, I'm like this and that. And all of a sudden my mom's like concerned. And it's kind of what Mike just said. And my dad was just like, Linda, it's a hangover. Just he's going to have to deal with it. And that's what it was. we went to some fucking you could do breakfast buffet thing. And I was so fucking disgusted over it. I had these Jack Daniels sunglasses.
Yeah.
And I just had them on the whole time.
Well, that's appropriate. First of all, that buffet was at Michael's Inn. They had that there.
That's right.
No, it wasn't the Michael's Inn buffet. It was some other buffet we went to.
Then it was fucking Denny's or something.
It was something shitty. It was like $5.99 buffet. And I remember Susan's like, "Oh yeah, we gotta go get some nice carpet."
Oh, I used to get so mad because everyone would fucking want to compete with how much they were eating. And I'm like,
Seuss, me, and Pete used to do
I'm like, I don't want to fucking compete how much. I mean, I don't want to eat a lot. I don't want to fucking. I don't care.
I remember that. But yeah, that was up there at Marty's house. It was a New Year's Eve party, and I remember drinking a bunch of that fucking spiked eggnog. It was awful, and then drinking something else where it was like Coke and Jack Daniels or Jim Beam or some shit like that, mixing it with Coke. And Keith showed up late. And Keith, you walked in, and I was on the couch, just like kind of like wasted watching TV. You're like, oh boy. And you had to take me home because I had to leave my car there. So
I don't remember this.
I think you're.
I can see that now. I can see like drunk Jamie on the couch. Keith walks in. He's like, "Oh, hey man." He's just like,
yeah, it was probably
how you doing?
Yeah, I was so tired. I just didn't even get up off the couch. But normally, yeah, you would have gotten like a flying bear hug or something.
Oh,
but
I'm coming.
Yeah. Or, I don't know if you did any of that, but
for all you knew, he did.
Yeah. Like honest.
Good.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. Because the other three are figments of your fucking.
And there's that as well.
Drove that.
See, Mike got me thinking when he mentioned the 21st birthday. I don't know if you guys remember. I think, Jamie, you were with me. Maybe Pete. I was leaving the next morning to go to Southern California for the Marines, so I couldn't drink. And because I left on the day of my birthday. But at midnight, you guys took me to Lucky's when it was still that fucking awesome biker bar. And we had one beer, and then I went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the most disappointing fucking
You went to bed at
21st.
Lucky's?
Yes, I did. I knew it was going to be Daisy Duke someday, so I got herpes off the floor early.
Oh wait, I got a drunken Steve story. How about that fucking time you were barfing your brains out outside of Empire Hots?
Oh God!
Oh my God!
My phone fell.
Oh! I hit a nerve there, guys.
I'll tell you, I don't know about a nerve, but I'm going to.
I had a flashback. Well, do you remember? You remember where we went, Jamie? Before that,
We were in around Grease Ridge.
Greece.
Oh, Mike, you turn your vibrator on.
How is that?
I don't know. Ask Mike.
It's Mike's vibrator. We were at. It was Captain's attic in Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I remember that because we went, it was Seuss, you, me, and I can't remember who else it was, but I know it was at least the three of us. And
Matt Oakes was there.
it might have been Matt. I was doing shots of Jack Daniels, and then I remember dancing on the dance floor with a pitcher of beer in each hand.
Yes.
And then I don't remember anything.
We got back, and you just wanted to sit in front of Empire Hots. And you just sat there forever, and all of a sudden you're just like, ugh, and everyone's like, oh, he's thrown up. I'm like, oh my God, how are we going to get him out of here? And then you kind of like went over to a tree nearby and just started barfing there. And then I think you just laid on the grass and just laid there until we were done eating. And then we went and got you.
I kind of remember that. And what I remember about that is the reason I moved to the tree is because I was puking as people were trying to come in. And I turned away a lot of guests that didn't want to eat after they wanted to.
Would they not be used to that at that place, though? I don't know.
Right?
I remember that shit.
Jamie, Dave Bell. I mean, what about the time when you were drunk while we watched Texas Chain kept passing out and then randomly waking up and giving us facts about the movie. Passing out again.
That is true. That is true. We were completely drunk off our asses, and we watched Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I kept falling asleep, and all of a sudden I just wake up and like, so where they shot this movie is this one little location, blah 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 blah, and I just start spouting off facts that I instantly went. And I was doing it repeatedly throughout the movie, just spurting off information about Chainsaw Massacre and then falling asleep again.
You know, there's a story I just thought of that Jamie was indirectly responsible for. This is when Audrey and I got married. Keith was there. When I got married to Audrey, I planned on not drinking. I was like, I'm not going to drink. We're going to get up and drive to Maine the next morning. I don't want to be hungover. And then Jamie called in shots of, I think it was Jim Beam for me, Keith, Andy, and Brian.
Yeah.
And I did that shot. And then after that, I was like, oh, I do a couple more. I got fucking drunk as hell. And we're leaving. Now, mind you, my wife's best friend, I had not met because she lived out of state. I had not met her until that day. And like when she walked in to the wedding is when I first met her. And she was in town for the wedding, staying at her parents' house. And her dad picked her up. And he had this really nice like BMW or Mercedes or something. And I'm walking out carrying the top of the cake that you're supposed to put in the freezer. And I get to his car to say hi and shake his hand, and I drop the cake all over the front of his car.
Oh.
So that's how I first met her father, this girl's father. I fucking dropped it all over his car.
How pissed was Audrey over that?
She wasn't, because she was drunk too.
Oh, okay. You're lucky.
And the main thing was, she goes, did you save any so we could put in the freezer? I'm like, yes, the very top is, it never touched the car. She's like, all right. So we saved a little bit for the following year, but most of it just got fucking plastered all over his car.
Have you guys ever eaten your wedding cake the year after? It tastes like shit.
That's what we did. Yeah, it was awful.
What we did is our place, they make the top of the cake the year after for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you didn't have to save it. Like they said,
we saved ours. It tastes like bullshit.
For the reason that you're saying, like they always taste like shit. So they said, we'll come back the next year and we'll give it to you.
Huh. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fucking. I didn't think I ever told that story to you guys.
I don't.
I never.
No, I don't remember that. Oh.
It all started with Jamie buying that shot. I was like, fuck.
Fucking Jamie's fault.
I get drunk and drink more now than I did ever in my 20s.
What's the worst hangover?
Oh yeah. Well, no, I drank more in my 20s.
Oh, I drank more in my 20s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
I have about 6 years.
Yeah, but some people, you know, what you were doing in your 20s, compare it to what you're doing now with like edibles or like something else.
Yeah,
you know, like smoking or edibles. Like it's, you know, now
that's a very good point.
No, because it was when I was working at Roadhouse. Keith, when was that? That was like 97 to like 2003.
Yeah.
So we were like 23, 24. And 6 nights a week, we would go to Crummers, and I would drink like 3/4 of a bottle of bourbon 6 nights a week.
That's good stuff. Good for
It
you.
was insane for 6 years.
Yeah. Did on beer, golden tea, and the jukebox and the darts.
Oh my god!
Bar like we get country probably right now.
Well, there was a point that I was making like $1,400 a week at Roadhouse, and at the end of the week, I'd have like $250.
Wow.
Well, what were you doing in terms of what kind of bourbon were you drinking?
It was Jim Beam, because I would drink Jim Beam and Coke. It would be a single, and then a double, and then a triple, and then by the end of the night, it would be a full pint glass of Jim Beam with a splash of Coke.
It was be a triple Beam and Coke. What
It
was
was,
I don't know.
Lamb Delicious.
But he would charge me for singles. And like literally fill the glass up with Jim Beam, and I would tip him like $20 each time, and that's why he fucking did it.
God.
Oh my god, no, it was bad. Like Keith could tell you, man. There were times him and I would just be fucking. Like I honestly, the amount of times I drove home from Crummers to my mom's house, completely blacked out, I can't even count. It's uncountable. It's uncountable.
I shouldn't have survived college. No way.
No.
Alleged.
I probably shouldn't have made it.
And Pete did all that drinking without ever using a straw. So
That's right. Right. Not even once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had so many.
Pete, that was one of the most drunk I've ever been. Was Pete when you and I went to visit Dan O'Connell at Niagara on New Year's Eve, and I drank an entire bottle of Seagram 7.
That party was something else. Like I can remember people
insanity.
being carried out of there, literally.
What's the most hungover? What's your worst hangover story?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mine was at a great.
Probably something recently.
I was at a graduation
Really?
party. A camp out in the backyard. We were all underage, but the parents took the keys, and you could drink whatever you wanted. And Anthony Servideo was at this party. Crystal Light and vodka, and it was like freaking this much Crystal Light and the rest of the water, like a sport bottle. And I drank that shit down like it was water.
It's a respectable drink. Yeah.
Up, and I wasn't feeling well, and like this is actually the first time I was really hungover. I didn't know how to handle it except fucking. But I'm like, maybe I need to drink something, and I drank 2 of orange juice.
Oh God!
That acidic kills you.
I fucking walked out to this because there were all woods in the backyard. Walking and projectile vomiting. It looked like something out of just a river of yellow coming out of my mouth.
It's turning my stomach.
And dry heaving. Just for at least like 20, 25 minutes. Just straight like blah.
Oh my God.
Blah. Blah.
Holy crap.
Oh man.
Well, Keith, you were there for mine, the Marine shot. After that night, it took 4 days for me to get over that. Literally took 4 days before I felt normal again.
In my late 20s, hangovers like that, it would be 2 or 3 days before I felt normal again. And that was right around the time I'm thinking, wow, I might have done some damage to myself.
Yeah.
I may have to cool it a little bit.
I actually killed it a little in college because I would have horrible hangovers after drinking. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, with like,
I am bad now. Now it's really tough to get.
I hardly ever have a hangover now.
Oh, now I
really.
Which means my liver is effectively hardening and dying.
Good.
Jesus Christ. Start calling it scoliosis. Cirrhosis, I mean.
Just like
one night sitting up with you fuckers after recording this, filled like, I don't know, a quarter of a bottle of scotch by myself. And freaking my oldest daughter was home from college on the campus for COVID. It was 2020. And the next
one of the trivia shows or something.
Dry heaving. And she fucking comes up with her shirt up. They have masks on. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't have COVID." What do you know? Like, because I was an idiot and drank half a bottle of fucking scotch last night.
Yeah, you kept going.
What a good dad.
It was like John Barley or something. You kept
John Barr.
John Barr. That's right. That John Barr shit that's lethal because that's where when I.
Did you just call it John Barr shit?
I did, and I'll tell you why. Before you curse me out, because it's good stuff. It's definitely tasty, but
you on the bar?
I was on the bar, but
goddamn right.
I drank in Mexico very well. Like I drank a lot, but that last day, and I drank too much, and I ended up getting in arguments and all kinds of shit. And it's like right at the beginning was where I was drinking at 8 bar. And I drank that for the first 4 hours, and I think that was the foundation that killed me.
8 in the morning.
Oh my God, dude!
I sent you a picture when I was out writing, and I had a drink.
Oh, that's right.
Because I went down. I went down to the bar. Yeah. They had a pool everywhere you looked. I went down to the adult centered pool and just started writing. And they're like, "You want a drink?" I'm like, "I absolutely want a drink." What do you got? John
Was there fucking going on there?
Not at that time, no.
Well, you said it was the adult side of the party.
There was Lamb Delicious going on.
Yeah. Dave, comment. I feel if you when I was younger, I'd probably be dead by now.
No,
Yeah,
you wouldn't
yeah.
have, because when we were younger, we didn't drink much.
Yeah.
Like the bunch of us together, anyway.
I was a late bloomer. Honestly, I really was.
Well,
Well,
we were
all those
talking-
parties we did together, we didn't drink much anyway.
Yeah.
about this when you were getting your beer, that we were all anti-drinking part of the mid-90s.
Oh, for a beginning, yeah, because I always
Yeah.
associated that with the bombs,
yeah,
school, and everything like that.
90s.
Bombs.
Oh, but then
Yeah.
we all went to college. 2000.
Yeah, for me, it was going to Chicago, is where it changed for me.
New Jersey, single.
one-bedroom apartment and having like a cluster of fellow Wegman that were all going out. We all were relocated, and we all until we got there, and we all just needed something to do, and we would all do the same fucking routine. Go to this bar in Trenton. We go to this bar in the next town. Always had freaking 12 packs of beer. Steve is familiar. Blue empties when we lived together.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was just beer that went through all of our apartments, and alcohol was, I can't even fathom at 45.
Well, but there's the thing is, like, when was the point when it was not a social thing and more like you drank because you actually wanted to drink? Like, I'm not talking about like going fucking crazy in post college or whatever you were doing, but I'm talking like, when was the point where like you needed to drink because life fucking got in the way? Like, it was almost like a way of coping with shit as opposed to anything.
I think they happened simultaneously for a lot of the after college years.
Really? Like in your early 20s when you were down there living with Steve and that was like out of necessity and not out of just like partying and wanting to get laid?
We had our social Friday, Saturday nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, all the trips to Crummers. But Steve would fucking work all night or be out with the girl he whatnot. And I'd be at the fucking apartment by myself and have 6 bottles of Labatt Blue on the couch, just from watching TV by myself.
No. You were passed out on the ground with the bottles surrounding you.
Oh, whatever. But
a halo of misery.
Get the
With a rose in your hand.
Yeah, that was not social. Nothing social about that drinking. But
No, I didn't have I don't think I ever had a moment where it was something I needed to do, but there was a moment I realized I needed to stop, and I was at Neil Argento's cottage, and we were getting wasted, and I had 6 shots of 151, and I wasn't even buzzed. And I remember thinking, that's okay. I got to stop. This is not good.
Oof.
Like when you do 6 shots of that shit and you don't even catch a buzz, you got problems,
Could never.
Was that
No way.
after the Marine shot?
That was after, I want to say.
Can you say what the contents of the Marine shot actually are?
You want to do it?
It is a rocks glass, a full-size rocks glass, no ice. Yeah, that's ice without the wedge. Filled to the top with
This isn't a
Cuervo Gold
wedge,
tequila, Cuervo Gold 151, and Wild Turkey, equal parts. And you had to down the whole thing in one gulp, which I did, and I held it down, but I blacked out within like 30 seconds.
You didn't think of it because you immediately ran to the bathroom, and freaking
Yeah.
Me and Steve walked into the Old Toad, and that was the first drink because the bartender. So we recognized it. Like, every Marine in here, he's got to do this shot. So he pours this fucking concoction.
Wow.
He poured one for me, and I'm like, dude, I'm driving. If I do that, then I appreciate it, but no thanks.
That's a good way out of that.
Sir, I'm from the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, seriously. I made the right decision. If you would have watched Steve down this shot, stone cold fucking sober to piss drunk at about 46.
Oh man!
Like, seriously, and we just started the night, so we fucking.
Did you have any food in your system?
No, we had gone to Jeremiah's and got some beer and had food. So we had just come, but we drank, I think, 2 pitchers of beer at Jeremiah's
All right,
before
how
we
about
went
this?
there.
How about this? What is your food of choice when you're drinking and you're having a good time and everything, and you realize the night's starting to go and you're getting hungry? What
For
is your
Rochester,
food
New
of
York, what do you
choice?
think? We're from Rochester, New York.
Fucking garbage plate. God damn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
See, not me. For me, it was always pizza.
For here, it's pizza. I always want pizza. But
like deep dish, like Chicago deep dish.
Whatever. When you're here, I'm drinking. I just want pizza. I don't care what kind it is. It could be fucking Domino's.
All I know is that Jamie fucking, when I was at his house one time, one of the last times I was there, not the last time, the one before, he got me fucking White Castle with the fucking onion burgers when I was drunk.
Because you said it, you're like, I've never had a White Castle. Like, all right.
It was
1
awful.
in the morning. It's not
so
good.
bad.
Yeah, Rochester, New York. Gotta have the garbage plate. Cheeseburger plate, mac home fries, hot sauce, onions, ketchup, mustard. And soak it up.
See, that shit always killed my stomach too much. And if I wanted to keep going, I needed something carby. I needed like a ton of breading.
We were puking outside Empire Hots while we were getting our plates.
Well, yeah, I know that too.
Now it's like, how about this? For me, shit my brains out now.
Oh yeah.
Every
the next
time
day
I'm
it's
drinking.
fucking muddy pants.
Oh God, I'm fucking blasting so many goddamn biscuits. It is fucking awful.
Come on, Jamie. You know it's not biscuits.
I feel like Mike DeSantis' boyfriend on a Saturday night. My ass is fucking killing me.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, when you just regular drinking, like when you're drinking beer, right? Mostly beer.
Let me wings.
Even recently, when I was in Webster, I went out with my older cousins. It was so stupid. It was like my last night there. My older cousins, who I hadn't seen in a while, were at my uncle's funeral, and so they're like, "Oh, we got to meet up for a drink sometime." And it was like the last night, and so we met up and had many drinks. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna have beer because I got to drive the next day. I don't want to be shitting my brains out." I was drinking Jameson and ginger. Next day, I had to fucking stop at Buffalo rest stops and everything, and just made some clients all down the fucking all down the highways.
It's your own personal Hansel and Gretel. It's like leaving
God,
breadcrumbs.
Awful. And that was the stupidest thing I've ever done drunk. Was
Follow
that
the
night.
Yellow Shit Road.
I drove home drunk as fuck. And I don't remember. All I remember is my dad flipping out on me. And it felt like I was young again. So it was almost enjoyable. Him yelling at me. But I was so embarrassed. I parked half of my parents' fucking driveway and half on their yard. It was terrible.
You didn't park in Junkyard Salon, did you?
No. Oh, we ended with the coach. That's where I ran into Chris, and I was fucking annihilated. So
That night we're on the expressway home, and he tells me he's got to fucking throw up in my car. Mercy High School, he's hanging out my door, fucking puking on the side of the road.
Oh.
We can go the side roads back to my parents' house because I was still and freaking right on the driveway, 3 a.m. Blah. Dry heaving, waking up the whole goddamn neighborhood.
Oh.
I'm out there with a hose. He's fucking sleeping on my floor. Oh.
That's the first time at that time of night someone drunk was in the living room. You didn't fuck. Well, I hope you didn't. But.
I'm not much of a puker, I have to say. I basically just shit everything out the next day.
Oh my God, I puke like a goddamn champ. Most of the time I do a Nicole Richie and I make myself puke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You make yourself puke, take 2 Excedrin and drink a big glass of water, and then go to bed. Usually everything's all right.
Well, what I've noticed, what helps me is take a vitamin B pill and some ibuprofen. No, before. Take a vitamin B pill, some ibuprofen.
Always
shitload of water.
hydrate before you go to bed.
Yep, water. Next morning, an energy drink, preferably something with a lot of vitamin B.
If I'm hungover, I go right to like McDonald's or Burger King or something.
Mhm.
There's the grease soaks it all up. Like that always does it for me. Like getting a burger. But let me tell you, like she probably wouldn't like me tell this story, but Carrie is probably weirdest drunk story I've ever seen is like we were here in Jersey, and she went down to meet some friends in New York, and all of a sudden I get this phone call from somebody at a Sparrow's Pizza above freaking Penn State in New York. And like I think this woman serious says she knows you. She's really drunk. She's kind of just lost in New York. Like she just got so yeah. That's how she sounded. So so I had to go down to New York and pick her up, and like we didn't even make it to the car, and when she puked, it was like tender vittles or something.
Oh,
It was what?
It's like tender vittles.
She ate cat.
It's just like I don't know what the hell she ate, but she it just came out like looking like dog or cat food, and like the little like broken up stuff. So I get her in the car, and we're going back to Jersey, and like I'm on the highway and I'm going 70 miles an hour. All of a sudden she decides she wants to get sick again, so she starts to open the door.
Oh no!
At 70 miles an hour, and I just reached over and I grabbed her shirt, and she's like, I'm trying to pull over, and she's like trying to get out of the car at 65 or 50, whatever, you know, it ended up being.
Oh my God.
And just to get over to the side of the road so she could puke some more. And that was probably the most fucked up drunk story.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That is pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Not as fucked
No.
up as like Lamb Delicious, but
That's right. Some goddamn delicious lamb, man.
Oh,
Did it? We've been on
2 hours.
Holy shit.
nice.
I believe that. So we're going
2
to.
hours.
Yeah, but
of
do we-
fun?
do we have enough footage to make a couple episodes though?
Oh yeah, no, we
Now
are
for
good.
some editing.
Yeah.
And now, thank you for listening to this episode of Fat Noise. For Pete Melia, Mike Burdick, I'm Tune in to us on all of your podcast platforms. Go to Fat Noise. And we have FatNoisePod.com.
He's shitting right now.
Oh, thank God he held it in. He did.
That's pretty much it.
3 are figments of your fucking imagination.